Hi, I'm Alice from the American Precision Museum. We're recording this today on Friday, October 1st. Happy National Manufacturing Day and the beginning of National Manufacturing Month. I am so happy to be joined today by my friends from the Steric Company, Allie and Tim. And Allie, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your role and your company?
Thing. So I work in the marketing department, and my expertise is really in the digital realm. So I am doing website management, creating social media posts, creating graphics for our email campaigns, automating those email campaigns, a little bit of photography, videography. I do a lot of things, but mostly digital promotion is my role here.
Okay, fantastic. And Tim, can you introduce yourself and tell me about your role at the company and what you do?
Hello, everyone. Tim Cucci here, product manager of Precision Hand Tools at the Ellisteric Company. I am responsible for the roadmap and growth of our precision hand tool line. Working with distribution end users and internally here for new product development.
Fantastic. So, how did you get into the field? Did you have an opinion of manufacturing in advance?
I did not. A funny story here. I grew up about a 10-minute walk from Starrett, where Starrett was founded here in Athol, Massachusetts. And I said I would never work in a factory, where my parents and the school teachers were pushing the college thing. So I did go to school for a year. I ended up coming to the Starrett company on a summer vacation to work. And 26 years later, here I am.
Oh, fantastic. So, it must have been a pretty positive experience to keep you there.
It was, starting, at the low level on the manufacturing floor. I would see the engineers walking around, creating new things, improving things. I said, someday I want to do that. I do want to do that. And after years of hard work here, the opportunity was presented, where I became a methods engineer for 11 years. I did a lot of traveling, a lot of changes and processes. And then from there, I had the opportunity to move into product management, where I've been for 2 years. So within manufacturing, there's many career possibilities, definitely opportunity for growth. Manufacturing is not what I thought it was growing up 10 minutes away, saying I will never work there.
See, that's really interesting. And one thing that you've mentioned and that Allie touched on for a moment is it's the whole creators wanted theme, right? That in manufacturing we can be creative, we can make stuff. And Allie, you've got more of a creative role in a manufacturing company. Did you have a particular image of manufacturing before you started?
I mean, a little bit because I grew up I grew up in a very small place as well. And we had our share of vocational schools. And so that's where, people were really learning trades. And so I had a little bit of an idea of the schooling of it, at least, before an actual career in it. But namely, the main thing that I knew is that all these people can do math way better than me.
Okay.
I'm not good at math at all. And being able to read something down to like the 0.00001, it's unfathomable sometimes to me how small of things we can measure here and how quickly it comes into the head of all of the engineers that we have. It has definitely taken on in itself more of an artistic perspective for me. Not so much what I do here, which is inherently artistic. I'm using Photoshop and such, but the people who are making the mics, the people who have been doing that for 30 years, and it's an art at that point. It's like, someone knows the process like the back of their hand, and it's hard to teach that kind of craftsmanship and that kind of dedication. And it's it's mind blowing to watch somebody, bang on a piece of metal and they are welding it and they're sanding it, and then it's this incredibly precise tool at the end of the day. I didn't perceive that coming in, and I've only been handed that since day one of being here. It's a lot of intricacy.
That's fantastic. Tim, did you want to say anything about the precision, about some of the tools that you make? Um, with that lead in about.
Yeah. It is, yeah, and to piggyback on what Ali was saying, it's pretty neat to see tools starting from raw material to a highly precise measuring instrument. Just thinking of aviation and aircraft, engines, turbines, so on and so forth. That's a life or death measurement when you're manufacturing parts for aviation and aircrafts. So our tools have to be that precise in order for the manufacturers to feel confident in the parts they're making. And we make tools here that will measure to 50 millionths of an inch. That's five spots to the right of the decimal. So that's very minuscule, and it's pretty neat to see from design to completion what can occur.
Yeah, excellent. So clearly, you're using math skills, engineering skills, STEM, and design and day to day. So today's educators keep talking about STEM. Occasionally, it's STEAM. Sometimes I think saying design rather than arts helps kind of bring it all together a little bit. Um, if you could give any advice to help get more people interested in manufacturing careers, what would it be?
Some advice to get people more interested. To
Yeah.
my personal opinion and thoughts from personal conversations is that when you mention manufacturing, I think the mindset is the old time manufacturing. You're working in a dungeon, it's dark, it's dirty, you're working long hours, physical labor is hard and rough on the body. And that may be true. That is true of the Industrial Revolution going back in history. But where we are now in Industry 4.0 with automation and robotics and software and programming machines, CNC machines, and
Machine
with the
intelligence and
I
monitoring
was
and sensors.
yes,
Yeah.
I was going to bring in AR and AI,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence. The technology, manufacturing in 2021 in the future is totally different of the mindset of previous manufacturing from the baby boomers generation that we're slowly leaving here. So I would say to the future manufacturers, you do have a reason to be excited because these are exciting times we live in, and manufacturing is following that route.
I love to hear that. And that jives with what we've seen from the here at the Precision Museum, looking at where companies have been able to grow into over 200 years of change. Um, I wanted to ask, did either of you need to take any special courses to be able to understand these millionths decimal points, or what kind of training does it take for for the two of you?
Ali, if you'd like to go, and then I can go after you.
Sure. Well, my answer is kind of easy. I haven't had any kind of precision measurement training. However, my knowledge of everything just from marketing it is surprisingly in depth. Tim can tell you that sometimes I'll throw out things and someone will say a number and be like, oh yeah, that's a feeler gauge. Like
Yeah,
I know it from being here and working with it so much in the marketing materials. Because if I'm trying to promote something, then I
you
need
need
to
to be able to
understand it,
understand.
and I need to understand how it is applied in the real world. Because you can talk about how shiny it is, what it's made of, it's rust resistant, all of this stuff. But if someone doesn't know how to actually use it, then it's kind of moot. So you need to be able to put people in a situation where in the real world they are using that tool to their benefit. So I've kind of had hands-on training. I've been in the factory quite a bit, just looking around and getting to know people who are actually making this stuff and seeing what they go through. So my training has been somewhat unofficial, but certainly in depth.
Great. Thank you. And Tim?
Yeah, so starting on the factory floor way back when it was, you sit next to the person, they show you how to do something, you take your handwritten notes and hope that you can do what they're showing you. That's how I grew up in the factory, but since entering into engineering and then into product management, I have um, received 13 manufacturing certs in different disciplines from
Oh,
GDT, geometric dimension tolerance, and to even Excel, to marketing, to launches, pricing, so on and so forth. So as you do grow in manufacturing, there are some education tools to help further you along. One little plug-in I will put here though, is here at the Ellisteric Company, what we do have now for people coming in to be machinists is a training center. So
oh, cool.
Instead of just putting you next to a machinist for 6 months, you're actually going to learn basic surface grinding, working on a bridge port, moving on to a CNC machine, as well as learning how to read prints, how to do CAD design, actual classroom time. So that piggyback on the last question we had talking about the baby boomer generation to industry
Yeah.
4.0, even our training, our employees onboarding with our employees, that mindset is changing as well as we go into the future.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, is there any particular qualification to get into the machinist training program, or is this somebody that's willing to work hard and learn?
Work hard and learn.
Oh,
Yes,
fantastic. Because that's going
absolutely.
to be a great career if you're in that area to and try to get into that program. Well, I think I only had a couple of more questions. I want to thank you so much for being with me today. Um, I want to ask, I know that CERT is involved in education. Can you tell me a little bit about why that matters to you?
Could you repeat that, please?
I know that you're very much involved with technical centers and with education programs. Yeah.
Yes.
Why is that important to the company?
Well, so statistics is telling us that by the time 2025 comes, there will be 2.5 to 3 million open manufacturing jobs here in America. Manufacturing is the crux of America, so we need to sustain that going into the future. So we need to fill these jobs, but we need to fill these jobs with skilled workers so they can make immediate impression on manufacturing. So education is very important. One thing we do have here at Stair is that we are partners with NC3 and Snap-on with a program called Train the Trainer, where there's multiple toolkits, a precision measuring instrument or an advanced measuring instrument, where NC3 and Snap-on have written curriculum. There's testing. We support the tools, everything from micrometers to indicators, all the way up to a vision system or optical comparator, depending on how much you need to learn for the field you're going into manufacturing. So yes, we are tied into education at the core.
Fantastic. Let's see. And then I have just one more question, and I'm pulling up a visual aid for it. I Here at the American Precision Museum, obviously we care about precision, but we also have a lot of merchandise that says "I like machines" because we do, and the people that come to see us love machines. So, Allie, do you have a favorite machine that you use at home or on the job? And I'll tell you that my friend Lisa's is her snowmobile, and mine is my blender. So.
Well, I think of I have a timer at home that I use that is it doesn't run on batteries, and so you wind it every time that you use it, and so it's it will last, and it's without battery. And by design, by winding it, you are creating the situation in which it can be a functional timer. So I think manufacturing wise, that's probably one of the smartest, but not seemingly smart little things that I have in my house. But I will throw out one of my favorite machines is it is the very first machine that our founder made. It's called the Hasher. And it's just this hilarious little meat chopping thing. It looks like a bucket with this little like a crane over it, and you crank the lever and it will just like chop up the meat that's in this little thing. And it's just the funniest little machine that you ever have seen.
Can you share a
And
picture of that later, do you think?
oh, I can. Oh, of course.
All right,
Yeah.
great.
We have a prototype here that we show to people who come through the plant. It's just kind of this funny thing, try to guess the name of this machine and what it's actually for. It was created in the 1800s. The very first thing that he kind of thought up, while he was working on his farm. He was trying to make the farm part of his career meet the inventive part of his career, and that's kind of where it met. So I love showing people the Hasher. I think it's just kind of this funny little thing that ultimately blossomed into a global company, which is insane. So yeah, I think those are probably my two.
Thank you. And Tim?
Yes, now that I am off mute. My favorite tool here, and I'm going to keep it to the stair, conversation is what we see here on the screen is a catalog 204 micrometer head that we can customize and put into any type of micrometer frame. But what's really neat about this tool is by pressing the plunger, the spindle, as you can see, will slide away from the screw, and then you could put it back in to take your final measurement. So imagine you're at 100 thousandths of an inch way down, and you need to wheel that out to 900 thousandths of an inch. You're going to be turning that spindle out quite a bit. Here, you can just press the button and the whole tool will slide out, and then you re-engage and you're right back to your precise measurement. It is the neatest tool to actually see it in action. It's my favorite.
All right. And then maybe on Facebook, you can share a little video of that one in action a little later, right?
Yes, I'll find something.
All right. And I think if you're interested in following Stare It Online on Facebook, they're at Stare It Tool with no space, because I was tagging them in lots of posts yesterday. So and I want to thank you guys so much for your support of the American Precision Museum. And thank you for participating in our conversation today. As you know, it is National Manufacturing Day. Thanks for sharing information about your career journeys and about kind of exciting times at your company.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Al. Yes, thank you, Alice. Thank you, American Precision Museum. You guys are the best. And yeah, looking forward to a great manufacturing day and manufacturing month.
All right. Fantastic. Bye-bye.